for a Channel 2 News update with a major development in a case of a missing man in Chautauqua County. The sheriff's office says it's located and pulled his truck out of Chautauqua Lake. The deputies say the truck belonging to Daniel Emerson was found near the Chautauqua Lake Bridge. Emerson, a Lakewood man, has been missing since March 3rd. He was not in the truck, according to the sheriff's office. Deputies are encouraging neighbors around the lake to check their security cameras for a maroon Ford F-150. They say relevant footage would likely fall between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. on March 3rd. The Buffalo Sabres are in Los Angeles this weekend to play the Kings. Buffalo is hot this week, winning back-to-back shutout games and advancing their winning streak to 3 games. Buffalo remains first in the Atlantic Division, but has been nodded off the top of the Eastern Conference, switching places with the Hurricanes. Today's game is at 4 p.m. And the second round of March Madness will kick off at KeyBank Center today. The action begins with the 1-seed Michigan Wolverines facing the 9-seed St. Louis Billikens at 12:10. Then 3-seed Michigan State will face off against 6-seed Louisville at 2:45. Hey, Kevin.
Yeah, it's cloudy and quiet for both days where there's basketball going on, but those days off in between where we want people to explore Western New York. It rained yesterday. We're expecting rain tomorrow. Clouds, but quiet today. I'll let FutureLook go just for the next 12 hours to 24 hours. Again, cloudy and quiet, calm. Temperatures hanging out, highs in the 40s. Tomorrow, rain arrives in the afternoon. It spreads from north to south across Western New York. We may see some flakes on the backside of that front as well late Sunday. So again, high around 42 today expected. Again, mid 40s for the southern tier. Areas of fog right now. There is a dense fog advisory underway for the southern half of our viewing area. If you got 1 foot out the door and ready to drive around, look out for some areas of limited visibility. Tomorrow in the 40s if you're if you're north of Springville. For the southern tier and for our Pennsylvania viewers, your highs will be in the 50s tomorrow. And again, not a rainy day all day tomorrow, but rain does spread from north to south across Western New York. All right, grab a cup of something warm, put your feet up, and start your weekend with friends. Daybreak starts in about 30 seconds. See you on the other side.
Almost the bottom of the hour, 8:29 on this Saturday, the first day of spring. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak. We got a look at your morning headlines. Right now, battle over the budget, the split opinions on how to solve the city of Buffalo's financial crisis and how it could all play out. Plus, 2 teams, 1 coast, but not the East. The Bandits and Sabres are gearing up for games in California at very different stages in their seasons. And second round set, the most anticipated matchups of March Madness in Buffalo. 2 teams from Michigan and their underdog opponents.
Live from 2 on your side, this is Channel 2 News Daybreak.
And here's a live look at the city of Buffalo this morning. The lake just in the distance there. Officially 8:30 on this Saturday. Thanks for joining us and starting off your weekend on a good note, hopefully. I'm Rob Hackford. Thanks for being here. We want to get right to the forecast this morning. If you have plans this weekend or trying to get outside, you're probably trying to make up time from yesterday, because it was nonstop. It was a soaker.
No, if you're in town, for basketball, just know we have awesome summers around here. Our autumns are lovely. Come back. Again, the winters, we play in the snow. We deal with it just fine. The spring is, as a native Western New Yorker, it's my least favorite season around here because of this 50 shades of gray. Yeah, and your forecast today is, that's it, mostly, and I don't know how to spell it. Otherwise, I'd put it in a graphic. Cloudy now and cloudy today. Dense fog advisory from the outstanding team of meteorologists we keep in a cave by the airport. Dense fog advisory for southern Erie County, Wyoming County, Livingston, Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, and Allegheny counties. Some foggy spots on the roadways until 11 a.m. this morning. And then, we're not going to see much blue sky today. We go from cloudy to mostly cloudy today. Thankfully, not rainy. And thankfully, not windy. We get plenty of that in March, don't we? Highs around 42 or so for the Buffalo area, mid-40s for the southern tier. Quite a range in temperatures tomorrow. We got that at the complete forecast. Rob?
All right. Thank you, Kevin. We begin with a major development this morning, the first in a missing persons case in Chautauqua County. The sheriff's office there says it has located and pulled a truck for that missing man out of Chautauqua Lake. Deputies say the truck belonging to Daniel Emerson, who goes by Scott, was pulled out not far from the Chautauqua Lake Bridge. Emerson, a Lakewood man, has been missing since March 3rd. He was not in the truck, according to the sheriff's office. The Lakewood Bus-Dye police departments are now processing that vehicle as they continue their missing persons investigation. At this time, we don't know where Emerson was last seen or what he looks like. Beyond that missing persons poster, the sheriff's office is encouraging neighbors around the lake to check their security cameras for the maroon Ford F-150. They say relevant footage would likely fall between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. on March 3rd. Now, Buffalo Mayor Sean Ryan's newly proposed 25% tax levy increase is not sitting well with many, including the entire Buffalo Common Council. But as 2 on Your Side's Nate Benson explains, it might not matter whether or not council members approve of that tax hike.
Hey there, good morning. The city charter gives a lot of control of the budget to the mayor, so even if the council is against it, Mayor Ryan can still get his proposed increase passed.
So the piggy bank is empty.
And in order to close that $109 million budget gap, Mayor Ryan says he needs to raise the property tax levy by 25%. Let's check in with the Common Council and gauge their temperature about this.
No, not at all.
No, absolutely not.
I can't support a 25% tax increase.
No, I wouldn't vote for 25%. And like I said, I was concerned with 15.
Myself and other members of the Common Council are not comfortable or behind a levy increase of that magnitude.
And that means negotiating will have to happen. Mayor Ryan has to present his budget no later than April 15th. After that, the Common Council can make recommendations until May 26th.
We can't vote no. That's the reality of this. We need to go through the budget line by line and make cuts.
For every 5% the tax levy increases, the city earns about $10 million in revenue. So if the council wants to see a 15% tax increase rather than 25, they'll need to find $20 million to cut, assuming the administration hasn't already done that.
We'll be asking where increases are, where deficiencies may be, what are the new additions that are in these departments, and to be looking for explanations. And then the council has then the opportunity to make deliberations and come up with amendments on if this budget is to pass, or if it is to fail, or if it is to stand as is with no revisions.
If the council rejects Mayor Ryan's budget, and if Mayor Ryan rejects any amendment recommendations by the council, according to the city charter, his original proposal would move forward automatically, even if the council is against it.
We are in a position in the council where our chartered responsibility forces us that if we are to reduce the tax rate to any portion, that we have to find that revenue to make it up, or we have to find cuts in the budget to reduce it. And myself and council members are concerned is if you're raising taxes a significant amount, but also cutting services, that seems to be counterintuitive.
So we've got 6-7 weeks now to go over this budget line by line by line, and that's what we need to do. If it ends up being a 9-0 vote, that's going to be an embarrassment on the entire council.
Once again, Mayor Ryan has to present his full budget plan to the council no later than April 15th. On your side, Nate Benson, Channel 2 News.
Like in Erie County is helping support people impacted by the Seneca Babcock Community Association shutting down its programs. Most of those programs started shutting down last week, but yesterday was the last day for their daycare. The organization lost its nonprofit status and some funding after its now former executive director missed a deadline to file critical forms with the federal government. Erie County Executive Mark Polenkars says kids and seniors who use the community programs will not have too much to worry about, though.
Our Department of Social Services is working through its child care division to ensure that the children get placed in other child care agencies. Our Department of Senior Services provides significant assistance, or did, in services at those sites for our congregate dining program, our Meals on Wheels, as well as a transportation program. I'm proud to say that working with some of the other centers, we're able to take on that workload so that none of the seniors that were affected by those centers closures will lose their congregate dining or their transportation.
No, county and city leaders are working with state officials as well to bring back the programs. The Buffalo Bandits will hopefully extend their winning streak this weekend. The team is on the road in California, facing off against the San Diego Seals. A late game tonight. It'll be their first meeting as well since the Bandits beat them in the first round of the NLL playoffs last year. The Bandits have 5 games to go this regular season and are currently 6th in the standings. The Seals are trailing right behind in 8th place and are on a 3-game losing streak. Hopefully the Bandits can take advantage. That game starts at 10 p.m. The Sabres also on the West Coast in Los Angeles to face the Kings. The Sabres have been hot, winning back-to-back games with shutouts and advancing their winning streak to 3 games. Buffalo is still atop the Atlantic Division, but slipped just out of the Eastern Conference lead. They were tied with the Hurricanes for just a bit. Today's game is this afternoon at 4 p.m. And coming up on Daybreak, if you're flying out for spring break or heading back, be prepared. We'll tell you how Homeland Security is dealing with the shutdown at airports across the country. Daybreak, we'll be right back.